Afternoon all. Having dreadful trouble with the sound, so I'm covering up the nonsense with a bit of random jazz. So, sorry, but the sound would otherwise be so terrible. No one would want to hear it. But I thought, since we're all trapped at home, I might tell you a story about how Parramatta used to be before all this coronavirus crap hit the fan. It's called Parramatta Bytes. The valley of the shadow of death travels through the streets of Parramatta, bringing with it the refugees, the saints and sinners of Flotsam. It's filled with meth heads and junkies, coppers bent like spoons from years under pressure, or blessed as saviours from years of giving a damn. Saints are eking out their existence by the station under the lights. There's a white girl with the black feet lying at the top of the stairs, whose hair looks like it hasn't been brushed in years, who has nowhere to go but there and nothing to do but drink endless cans of Coca-Cola, leaving the cans in a heap at the end of her bed in the street because she can't leave to dispose of them, who sleeps with her face to the wall, hoping the crowds don't trip on her or kick her in their hurry to go someplace else. But there are crowds that go against the tide, people who see this is someplace else. Marcus is coming up the stairs in his expensive green suit, buttoned over his slim body. His hair is perfect, as they say. He's talking nervously to a colleague, a blonde woman in a red suit and heels, about his meeting at Deloitte, hoping for a new, powerful job in the West. Trailing him onto the street is Brad in his high-vis shirt, carrying a tray of coffees and a bag of toasties for breakfast for him and some workmates at the Darcy Street construction site that bewilders and frustrates the locals. He drops $5 into the Blackfoot girl's bucket that Marcus didn't even notice when he tripped on her blanket. Pat walks down the arcade to the state revenue to make the same meaningless tax decisions he's been making for nearly 30 years, and an incognito Hell's Angel in a shirt and tie who keeps himself to himself strides along Argyle Street to his job as an assistant director at the RMS that's on the outside of the Westfields. Jesus lives on the street, his hair and beard long and brown around his ocean-deep eyes. One afternoon he warned me to leave before there's trouble. He saw a bloke get stabbed in the neck the last time there was trouble. When it rains, some of the refugee saints hide under the bridge in Parramatta or at the back of the hospital in Westmead. You can go there almost any time and Johnny will be there, bombing on. And he'll share if you're real and bring some next time you come. Down at the Woolly, it's a bit of a bus station, a shelter for the flotsam, a home for the street, and a holiday for those who go someplace else. There's beer and whiskey if you want, and they drink and play in the pool comp on a Tuesday and Thursday night, sometimes get weed or pills. Who knows what the lucky pills are, E, speed or something much harsher, sometimes just sugar. And a girl keeps score as she's done for 100 years, even though she's only 25. Afterwards, at the end, they drink some more, donate money to the pokies, score if they can under the watchful eye of a new manager who keeps booting out the same underage drinkers every single week. It's a world of its own at the Woolly, a circus where the damned play music from the jukebox and guys introduce themselves to newcomers saying names like Kai or Scruffy, Cat, or an older woman called Joan, who's hiding from her rebel boyfriend, who nevertheless has blokes sniffing around for a risky night that might end with the boyfriend named Shotgun turning up to live up to his name. Among the kids is Glasses Ben, called that so he's not confused with the other Ben called Damjanovic, who will soon change his name to Eldridge because his father, that he doesn't know, is called Damjanovic. But his mates still call him that. There's boy jazz and girl jazz that they sometimes call Mama Jazz because she's the first single mother in their bedraggled group. There's Fat Batty, who looks like a biker but is really a security guard who has never been on a bike in his life, and Plain Old Batty, his brother, who works in the local tattoo shop and gives special deals to friends and foes to help or get revenge. Then they go, some home alone, or home to a warm bed and moist pussy with breakfast in the morning before going someplace else for work. Some leave straight after the pool comp with a bottle of bourbon and some coke and go to a friend's house where the parents let them play Corn or Disturbed, or sometimes Defcon music, dubstep or trap, and get high on a couple of sticks of weed that make the place smell funky, like Jamaica. Sometimes I'll sleep on the floor and the boys will get everyone up at 4:30 in the morning so the girls can make them sandwiches that the boys take to construction sites that they travel to in the dark. A couple of the girls put on their uniforms to serve at McDonald's. One goes to Pendle Hill as a prostitute, so they all have money to go clubbing in the evening in a thumping place where the single dudes introduce themselves with, "Are you on the pill?" and then move on when the answer is no. In other places, the studios and cafes, the scribblers, the talkers, the dreamers and recorders of the refugees from this strange and dark world make uncertain love to microphones in dark places, rejected by those who know better than football on Friday or dark clubs in the city. There's wisdom in the streets among the refugees. Love can be found in those trapped sleeping in the station, like the bloke who lives by the ticket machine and always has time to help those who need the machine to work on their way to someplace else. All those flotsam people of the streets, some of them losers crushed under our heedless rush to expectations they have no share in, who only want a smile, a word, maybe a cigarette. On a good day they dream of a chance. We are all falling. It's just that some don't know. Some fall to hell, some fall to heaven, and some are refugees. The saints, who don't care much about going someplace else.